early in life, I learned that if I didn't pay attention to women, if I didn't look, I had better results. So if I didn't stare at a girl's ass, if I didn't, you turn my head when she bends over, that I had better, much better success with women. And I also learned that if I didn't have like animated facial expressions when girls do things, if I just kind of had like a blasé look on my face, girls tried harder, to get my attention. And I also learned that led directly to better sex and hotter girls. And so when I was younger, I learned to have control of my attention. And this was a very valuable skill for me. Very, very valuable. And also, too, I will just add in one more kind of aspect. When I would be in a situation like, let's say, an office, and then there would be a bunch of girls, and because I think it's partly because I wasn't paying attention, sexually to them, they would talk sexually and try to get my attention that way through words. So there'd be a bunch of girls and they would be talking about something at work, which is, of course, totally inappropriate. And like if guys did it, they'd be hammered. But like girls, like whatever, everyone's fine with that. Anyway, these girls would be talking about sex, or girls will talk about very, very explicit stuff, right? And I just like literally pretend like I just don't even understand what they're talking about. I'm just like, oh, did you see the thing over there? Oh, okay. And I just don't even like, I do not partake in that conversation. And why do I do that? What is the benefit? I'm going to tie this into red pill big time, because one of the number one skills you want now that you're red pilled is to learn this Chad skill, because this Chad skill is very powerful for you, whether you want women or not. Okay. It will get you more, you will feel better about yourself. You'll have more opportunities. You'll have more control of your mind, and you will have more power. There's no doubt about it. All these things. So basically, women are out there trying to get your attention. Okay, I was out walking my brother the other day, and it was kind of a scene like on the beach. It's like a walk along the beach. And this particular day was sunny, it was warm, and there was really more than normal, like a lot of hot girls out. And to be honest, I didn't even know there was that many hot girls in this town. But there was like really some hot girls out there. And they were all wearing like some type of really tight pants, like yoga pants. And it was funny, like pink, and there'd be like two girls, like I think they were sisters. One had like hot pink yoga pants, and the other one had like orange or whatever. And they were like young, right? And hot. And as they were walking by, I was thinking about it. I was just kind of, here's the first thing I noticed, is it got me thinking about this. It was very difficult not to look at them. I have a lot more discipline than most guys with my attention. Like I said, I built it up over time. Because I saw the benefit. It wasn't like I was just doing it just to be some kind of tough guy. It was like, I saw that if I controlled myself, the girls would come towards me more. And if I didn't, they would go away. So I was like, oh, I don't want that. You know what I mean? That's not good. And then also, as a byproduct, I learned that as I controlled myself, I felt better about myself. And I had more options. And I just felt better in general. Even if I didn't do anything, I just felt better. So there's that kind of inner stability piece of a man that really is powerful. But that is a nuanced skill, because in other words, what I'm saying is, okay, let's say a girl's bending over and looking at me. Okay, then if I'm not noticing her, I'm just kind of like not seeing her for some reason, she will, try a little harder, right? And that's one thing, because she's obviously facing me, trying to get my attention, right? But I'm talking about another more subtle thing where they walk by you and they can't see you. They're looking totally the other way. But then after like say 5 or 10 minutes, they'll stop to do something and they'll look back and they'll see, were you looking? And if they catch you one time, you lost. Okay. As a guy, you fucking lost big time. You totally lost. Like, this is the game of women. Like, it's so brutal because they know that guys try to control themselves. We do. We try. Whether we're worried about legal issues or whatever, we have a girlfriend with us. There's some reason why we would try, or we just kind of don't want to give away whatever. They know we try. But then they keep if they want to get your attention, they're going to keep trying. And also too, like I said, like they're there in real time with a million chances to look at them. You know what I mean? Like their tits might be swaying back and forth. They're bending over. They got the yoga pants, way up the crotch, or you can even see like camel toe, right? The fucking camel toe is, to me, that's like so hot, especially if the girl's hot. Camel toe is fucking hot. And you're trying not to look at it, right? And if you just look at it once and she catches you, you lost, right? And I personally think I'm going to take it even further here. I'm going to say you want to have control, even if she will never see you. Okay? Because I think, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, think about this one. If you look at her, okay, even when you know she can't see you, you feel differently about yourself. And later on, if you see her again, you will have less confidence when you look at her because you know that you were weak with her. Now, that sounds like it's too much, but think about it. Go and try this today. Go out and just don't notice the girls. Don't notice. Now, I took a while to make this episode. The reason is because I wasn't sure how to put the motivation. Because, see, part of me, and I think part of you, part of all men, are angry about this. Because girls are like, they're distracting us. They're like, we're busy doing our thing, like trying to make money or make a phone call. And then girls are like getting our attention. And like, part of us likes it, of course. But there's another aspect that doesn't like it. It's like, especially if they're not hot, or there's many reasons why we feel uneasy about it. It's not completely I don't think women understand this. We like to do things. Men like to get stuff done. And it's like, but at the same time, we have inbuilt things that can't stop us. It reminds me one time when I was teaching high school in Japan when I first got there. And I took all the students from my English class on a tour of a aircraft carrier. So I set up at Yokosuka base, they have like a visitor center kind of thing. And you can like organize a tour and they'll give you a tour of an aircraft carrier for free. It's awesome. I don't know if they still do it, but back then they did. And, you might have to be 2 or 3 months in advance, but you set it up and the tour is very good. It's awesome. You get to go on the boat. You I had a great time on these tours, actually. I met a lot of cool guys too. Anyway, one time was really interesting. I was teaching at a school that was kind of a low-level school. And it wasn't, like I taught at a very high-level school at the same time. So it was I could compare the two. Like a Japanese high-level school with like kids from good families and then kids that weren't. And so this was the kids that weren't. It was called Higashi High School. And so anyway, the Higashi High School girls were all there. And I said, hey, let's do a tour. And I did a tour with the other girls from the other school. And they were like, they were very formal and the tour went great and everything was great. But when I went with the other school, it was quite funny because all the girls, everybody was very formal. Everything was cool. Because Japanese students, they tend to be well-mannered, right? But there was one girl and I didn't even know. I had no idea because everybody wears uniforms in Japan. So you really don't know what people look like that much. It's funny. You think you do, but when they wear street clothes, then you really see what they look like. But with the uniforms on, you think you know, but they do offer a little bit of not sure, right? Anyway, this girl, I had no idea, but she had a huge rack, like massive. And she was like dressed up super slutty. Let's put it that way. Like basically it looked like out of some movie. Like it was ridiculous. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. She was dressed for 100% I am totally available for any kind of gang related issues. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Okay, but I was shocked as the teacher. And I'm like, I saw it and I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? I didn't know what to do. So anyway, we went to to meet the tour guide. And then there was a female giving us the tour. And so she looked at the other girl and she goes, she had seen this before. It was really interesting. The whole dynamic was fucking interesting. And it was two women too. And the woman, like I was, as a guy, I was too shy to say, you're not dressed. Because I thought, well, what are the rules here? Like, I better not say anything because I don't know what I can say. But obviously this girl's dressed to kill. I mean, literally to kill these military guys. But it's not against the law, and it's not my place to really tell her what to wear. So I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. I had no attraction. I was not into this girl, but I was just like totally baffled what I should say. So anyway, I didn't say anything. And the girl was the tour guide. She looks at her and she goes, oh, she goes, she said, the men here, she goes, they are working on the boat. They're working, right? We're taking a tour, but they're working. And she goes, you need to cover up. And so she went and got this. They had these, they had them all ready because this has happened so many times. They had these huge trench coats, like massive trench coats. And then they gave it to the girl and she covered up. She had to wear this trench coat. The whole day she had to wear this fucking trench coat. And it was funny though, because she was wearing this trench coat, the guys, you can't cover up a girl who's trying to get sexual attention. You can't. It's impossible. You can put her in a burqa. It doesn't matter. And so the guys, because she had a trench coat on, we had to go up these little ladders, between the floors. All the guys, you could tell they were trying to look up there, right? And it was just, the whole dynamic was fucking hilarious. But, the thing is, girls are trying to get your attention. And it's not for really your benefit. It's, you're working, you're doing your thing. I don't need some girl just able to come into my life, okay, and like literally in a hundredth of a second in some mall and totally divert my whole train of thought. You know what I mean? And it can happen. It really, I mean, that particular girl, like I was saying, my student didn't really do anything for me, but other girls would, right? Other girls would get my attention. Then I'm like, oh shit, now I remember going to the fucking laundromat once in Japan. I'm like just having a great day. I'm focused. I'm getting a lot done. I got in the laundromat. There was like a super fucking cute, like girl in the laundromat. I looked at her. I'm like, oh my God, this girl's so cute. And I totally all of a sudden my mind was totally different, right? Now, it's mixed feelings because obviously that girl was interested in me. I like that. But you need control of your life, okay, as a man. And I'm not going to pretend like I have perfect control, okay? Anybody who makes the channel telling you they have perfect control, they have perfect this, perfect that, it's just not. I mean, just look around you. Look around at people. How many people are perfect that you know? You know what I mean? If you make videos, do you suddenly lose any kind of... I'm telling you exactly who I am, right? You can hear. I have very good control because I learned it's good. Other times, their girl will get my attention. But what gives me more motivation... Because these days, I don't care about getting girls. So I'm not... These days, I'm not paying attention because I know it's going to draw them towards me. I am not paying attention, not because they're going to distract me, because as I get older, that becomes less of a thing. The reason why, as an older guy, the reason why I don't do that is partly because I know they're trying to use me, right? They want some kind of validation from me and as a man, and they're not paying for it. You know what I mean? It's like if a girl wants validation from me and she screws my brains out, I feel like that's a fair trade. You know what I mean? Like she gets my attention. I give her my attention. She screws my brains out. That's the deal with men and women, right? That's the bargain. That's why you have a relationship, that's the difference between friends. Okay, friends and girlfriends. Okay, so you have a friend, right? Some dude you're hanging out with, and there's no sexuality. He's your friend. That's it. With a girl, with a romantic relationship, there has to be romance. And that means sex. And what you do, this is the basics, right? 101 relationship, is that you give her your attention. You now pay attention to her. She is part of your life. You go out of your way to think about things. You remember her birthday. Certain things you're going to remember, you're going to do. She might like a certain food. She might like a certain color. Now, that doesn't mean you have to, you don't have to be a simp about it, but you are paying attention, okay? When you like a girl, when you're in a relationship with a girl, right? And then, what does she do? She knows that as a guy, you're not going to have a romantic relationship without romance, okay? Sex. She's going to give you sex. So a girl gives you sex, and then you hang around, you give her attention, and then what that attention, okay, I'm calling it attention, but that attention also becomes protecting and providing, okay? Those are connected. Attention is the beginning, and then it's, protecting and providing eventually, right? So that's kind of the bargain. That's the bargain that men and women do. Now, when a woman comes on the street and is trying to get my attention in 2 seconds without me doing anything, without giving me anything, there's a promise that she's going to give me something, right? There's a promise, right? That's what you don't want to go on as a man. Okay, just think, is this girl giving me anything? Like in other words, a girl might try to get your attention because she fucking likes you, wants to bone you. That is a different thing, okay? Again, I am fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. If a girl wants to get my attention and she likes me, I think that's cute. That's totally fine. But if a girl wants my attention and does not care about me, and is not going to give me anything, and does not want anything from me except for to take that from me, I will not give it to her. That's the mindset. Okay, so you have to separate. What is real? What is real? Now, most things in Western society, when women are trying to get your attention, wearing short skirts and shorts and this and that, are not real. Okay? They are not trying to get your attention because they want a relationship with you. It's just a cheap thrill for them. They're trying to get a cheap thrill out of you and then to throw you in the garbage. That's really as long as you understand that. Like, I know that you subconsciously understand some of this stuff, but when you logically understand this, it becomes easier because you'll be like, wait, I'm not getting anything from this girl. Now, girls think that by looking at them, we got a lot already. That's what they think. They think it's a fair value. Like, we get to see their ass, right? And then they get our attention. They think that's a fair trade. But it's not it's while maybe on some levels it might be, I would say overall it's not a fair trade. And the reason is because you have so many options, okay, for your sexual attention. Okay, now, a lot of guys are, there definitely some guys are anti-nofap and anti-porn and everything. I would say that a lot of you guys know my kind of philosophy is, if you don't have a girl, if you don't have a girlfriend, that milk the cow, keep your juices flowing. You want to run, you want to sweat. You want to drink water, you want to sweat. You want to make sure that you keep your testicles healthy, right? Your body healthy. You want your mind and your body to be functioning, right? And that requires function. That requires moving, right? That's why you drink water and sweat, right? You don't just sit there and do nothing, right? You get the water and it goes all the way through your body, cleans your blood, and then it comes out. And then that cycle, that keeping things moving, keeping the blood flowing, keeping the fingernails growing, hair growing, that's life itself, right? And it's the same with your testicles as a man. You want to keep a healthy, certain amount of days. You want to come every certain amount of days, whatever it is for you, depending on your age, to find a healthy amount, and then just do it, and then keep it going. Don't feel bad about it. Don't, use whatever, I would say. I want to do a whole episode on porn, so I won't talk about it too much, but I'm not anti-porn, so whatever it takes, just do whatever it is that turns you on, and just keep it flowing. So you can, in other words, you can see the ass without seeing her ass. Okay. That is the beauty of modern technology, is that you don't have to take that bargain. Because I think it's a bad bargain. When a girl doesn't like you, has no feelings for you, is going to attract you and kind of raise at some level as a man, you feel, oh, she's doing that to me, and the dumber a guy is, the more he actually thinks she's doing it to him, right? There's people watching movies thinking that girl likes them, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's the extreme version of it. But basically, she doesn't like you. She doesn't care. And she's just getting attention for herself. And usually overestimating the hotness of her ass, right? I don't think that's a good bargain for you. Okay, so I want you, if this makes sense to you, start to control your gaze. But how do you do that? Because a lot of guys, and this is the key thing, a lot of guys will think that you do that by being angry in a way. Because if you knew that the girl's not giving you a good deal, right? It's very easy to say, these women here, logically, I don't like that. I'm not into that. And then you're not going to feel as good. Okay? Even if it's true, even if the girls are trying to use you, by focusing on that, it's not going to make you feel good as a man. It's not going to make you more attractive. Because whether you want women or not, one of my messages is you want to be more. Ronin guys are attractive. I mean, if you come to a summit, you'll see. Like, there's the girls all over us. Like, girls are into the group. Like, we walk around, fucking chicks are all over us. The guys get in shape. They lose weight. They stop eating sugar. Guys stop drinking. Guys get in rip shape, and they dress cooler, and they feel better about themselves, and they make money and save money. Guys get more and more confident, and which is interesting because it's like red pill guys getting more attractive to women, but that's what happens. You lose that kind of muddy sense where you lost yourself and you gain yourself, right? Over time in every aspect, right? You get more and more confident. But that confidence, right? That confidence doesn't have to lead to what you think it leads to, where you just basically get a girlfriend and do that. Just because girls want to fuck you and they will fuck you, or they want to, like I said, it doesn't matter. Your choice after that is one thing, but that's the mindset you want to have, okay? The mindset is more like I had growing up, is I realized that the girls would like me more and be more into me if I had control of my gaze, if I didn't buy into it, if I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, it's a double-edged sword. You want to get more and more handsome, lose weight, get ripped, dress cooler, you know what I mean? Be more confident, go to more places, learn things that give you that kind of inner confidence and that kind of, that balanced life. That's one thing about traveling. It's so great. Like coming to different countries, you will start to see the world more balanced, and you'll be more of a, what is that called? A man with many talents, right? I can't think of it. There's a word for it, but you'll be a more broad man with more skills, more options, and you won't be as caught up in the moment in your small town or wherever you are, your family or whatever small group you're in. You'll see beyond that. So even if you lose in that group, you'll be like, whatever. I did great over there. Like, these people are idiots, and you get out of there, right? Instead of thinking, oh my God, why am I not, you're just like, oh, well, I'm in the wrong place. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes you're just at the wrong place. You're in the wrong place. And at another place, things are happening. Fucking things are great, right? It's not always you. A lot of it is where you are, right? But you get that knowledge. I don't know if that's confidence or choices or options or whatever. It leads to confidence. It leads to more sense of security and everything. and you become a man in control. So that is the kind of glasses I want you to put on today. Do not be the angry guy. Because the thing is, there's a lot of things to be angry about if you want to. You know what I mean? But I don't think that is the right road on every sense of the way. And especially about women, is just realize that the less attention, the more cooler you are, and the less attention, you kind of like, don't let them jerk you around, and then they will double down and give you more, right? That's what you want. And whatever you do with it doesn't even matter. And as you do this in your life, you can put comments below when you do this. Hey, I didn't fall for that. I held my ground, and then she did that. Okay, that's the kind of comment that would be really valuable, because you're like, I saw what you're talking about here, and I would have done this before, but I tried your way this time, and this happened, and that was pretty cool, right? That's basically what I wanted you to do. So you're not paying attention out of protecting yourself, okay? So you're not trying to protect your time or your attention, and you're not angry. You're not unhappy about the odd deal she's offering you. You know, you pay attention to her and she dumps you all in hundredths of a second, 10,000 times a day. It's not that. It's that you are putting on, temporarily, you're putting on Chad, Tyrone, and you're like, what does Chad and Tyrone do? They don't simp around. They don't give girls money on OF. They don't like, oh my gosh, some girl's bending over. You know, they're just like, whatever. They don't forward pictures of, oh my God, this girl has big boobs, right? That's another way you can simp with your friends when there's no girl around, right? You're not buying into that. You know what I mean? You're kind of above that. So whenever you get like a group of men and they're like all forwarding those things, feel inside yourself and just think, is Ronin right here? Is he right? You know? And you realize, yep, it's very simpy behavior. It leads to less confidence. It leads to less success. It leads to more distractions. It leads to less everything that a man wants in his life, right? Don't fall into that, whether it's the girl walking by or the graphic here and there, and where you're just kind of like suddenly, oh my gosh, it's so hot. Now, milking the cow is another thing, okay? When it's time, right, you want to milk the cow, you go do whatever you do. That is totally different. And that is totally an awesome aspect of technology today. So you can do that for free, anywhere you want, anytime you want. So you can milk the cow without being daily distracted a million times a day and losing yourself, right? And you will have more confidence. And trust me, this skill is deep. It is very deep. There's many layers to it, actually. There's many layers. And the more you stick to this, even when no one's watching, like I said, your confidence will rise. It will. It will rise. And men will look up to you because they'll realize you have control of yourself. And then that is attractive. It's attractive to other guys because they're like, wow, there's so many guys who are totally not in control of themselves. And they see you in control of yourself. And they're like, wow. Like just subconsciously, like, fuck, that guy's got something, right? And of course, the chicks are attracted. And then when the guys are looking up to you, that makes the chicks more attracted, right? Again, whatever you do with that does not matter. Contrary to popular opinion, having confidence, being the man, having control of your emotions, your time, you're like logically knowing why you're doing something too. That's why I'm making this video. I want you to logically understand. You're not angry. You're Chad, but for the reasons of red pill, basically, right? If that makes sense. Yeah? You're borrowing a Chad Tyrone technique so that you can be more red pilled. It's a very cool idea. I just suddenly realized I had to merge those two. Because the red pill way of being angry and they're not giving me a deal, that doesn't help. No, man. No. Borrow this technique. Borrow this. Now, of course, you might, whenever you try some new skill, might not be supernatural at first. That's fine. Just know that it's in you as a man. It's in you. Don't worry. And every subtle like slight improvement you have, you will notice for yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back. I didn't stare. And I looked the other way. I just kind of like, whatever. I didn't even notice her. I was like, whatever. And then she fucking kept stopping. You'll be laughing. You'll be like, that is hilarious. Not that it leads to anything. It doesn't have to lead to anything. It's just like, that's hilarious. How much control you have in your life. I hope that's a valuable thing. I think your attention, not only can it help you in all the ways I talked about, but it can even help you with legal problems, like in companies. In corporate America, this is an incredibly valuable skill. Incredibly valuable. If you really want to be the man of the world where you're kicking ass in like a large, like a very public persona, this skill is super valuable. And very talented guys who rise to the top, they learn this kind of thing. How to control this and how to use it as a way to get more attraction. It's really a dynamic that is very powerful. All right, guys, I hope that's been useful, and thanks for listening.